Hey girls, today I want to talk about my fitness journey, how I got started, why I got started, where it all began, all that good stuff. So let's bring it back to the beginning of my life. I have been a dancer and or a cheerleader for my entire life. Ever since I could walk, basically I was in a dance class, and then I later got into cheerleading and tumbling, a little bit of gymnastics. So anything that I ever did that was physical was cheerleading, dance, gymnastics, like summer camp that I went to. I didn't really work out like on my own. My body was always pretty good. I didn't really have that many issues with it, but then once I got to college, obviously things changed. You start to party and the food in college isn't really that healthy. I just started noticing that I am not naturally one of those girls who has a phenomenal body. Some people just, it doesn't really matter what they do and their body looks fantastic, which if you're one of those people, I'm extremely jealous, but I am not. So I realized that I have to actually put in a lot of hard work to get the results that I want. So I started going to the rec and I started doing like cardio all the time, and I tried to like hop on some machines, but I didn't really know what I was doing. And I was really intimidated in the weight room because there was all these guys just like pumping iron, and I had never really gone into that area. So I was just really confused and scared. So I just stayed by the cardio. In my head, I thought I was like really doing something. It was in the summer going into my junior year. I think it was 2013. So when I first got to college, Instagram really wasn't a thing, and then like my sophomore year, maybe 2011, I downloaded it. Instagram was nothing like it is now, but I started to see a couple friends of mine that I knew from just growing up in dance and stuff doing bodybuilding competitions, and I was like, what is this all about? Because I knew what I was doing fitness-wise was kind of doing something, but it wasn't getting me the results that I actually wanted. So I started seeing these girls doing bodybuilding competitions and bikini competitions, and they looked phenomenal. And I was like, what the heck are they doing? So I'm starting to research it. They were all lifting weights. And I always thought, because I always heard this growing up, that like lifting weights is only for guys and you're gonna look like a man if you lift weights, which is so far from the truth. That is so far from the truth. I wasn't about to jump in and do a bodybuilding competition right then and there. I knew that I wanted to take what those girls were doing in their lifestyle and kind of implement all that stuff into my lifestyle. So what I did was I went on bodybuilding.com and I found Jamie Eason's Live Fit or Live Fit, one of those. There was like a training program, and it had every single workout you're supposed to do. It had all your meal prep, and it was all free. It's not free anymore, but back in the day when I started, it was free. And so I started doing this. It was really nice because I just wanted it, like I want it all written out for me. Just tell me what to do on this day, and then like day by day, it just told you every single thing. I didn't want to have to put any guesswork into it. This was during the summertime, so I was working out at the YMCA in my area. And then during the school year, I would obviously go work out at the rec center at my college. So thinking back to my college days, I was really scared to go in the weight room because of all these guys all over the place. They're all gonna stare at me like I don't know what I'm doing, because I didn't know what I was doing at the time. And I was so intimidated. So I found that there was a women's locker room workout area. I remember in this little mini gym in the locker room, there's a little poster on the wall, and it had like all these different muscles on the body outline, and then it told you like what workouts to do for those muscles to target those specific areas. It's like so old school. It's like from the 70s. It was so funny. But that's where I started. For the first couple weeks, I was putting in a lot of work, and I was like, wow, this is really hard. I didn't see any results, and I was eating all this really bland food. The whole idea of the bodybuilding meal plan was kind of like just fresh food that you're cooking for yourself, and it was pretty plain. I went from eating a standard American diet to that, and I was like, this is so boring. I'm so tired of eating this already. I'm working out really hard and I'm not seeing any results, but what the heck? But I had a lot of stomach issues growing up, and I felt like as I was eating this stuff and working out, I felt better. I felt like I had good energy. My stomach aches were a lot less than they used to be. I started like physically feeling all these positive things in my life. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not really seeing any results yet, but I'm just gonna keep going because I feel good. Nothing really was happening for a while. I just kept going because I'm like, eventually, as I'm working out, like it's gonna happen. I'm eventually gonna get these results. And then I did, and then by the time I went back, because this is in the summer, by the time I went back to school in the fall, I had these freaking gains. Like my arms were all defined, and I was building my legs and my booty, and I was like, yes, like I'm looking good. So I'll find some pictures and show you. So the newbie gains were freaking real, and all my sorority sisters started asking me, what the heck did you do? Like, you look great. And it felt so good that all these people were like confiding in me and asking me for advice. So I was happy to share it. Fitness journeys are not all rainbows and butterflies, and I know a lot of people on YouTube just want to show you the positive and good stuff and only good things that are happening, but they don't talk about any of the bad things that are happening. So I'm gonna keep it real, and I'm gonna tell you some of the things that I went through that were not good. Some of the struggles that I had. So I already mentioned before that I've had a lot of digestive problems. I get a lot of stomach aches, and that ties into the fact that I was on birth control for a long time. So finally, when I got off birth control, I felt so much better. And it was much, much easier to gain weight because it was easier to eat. I have 2 videos that I posted about birth control, so if you wanna watch those, I'll link those. Even though I had a lot of people that were so supportive of me and happy for me and congratulating me on my fitness journey, there were a ton of people that were starting to fit shame me. I don't know what to call it, fit shaming. For example, if I were going to a meeting or something and there's like a pizza party at the meeting, but I want to eat what I ate for my meal prep. Of course, I'm gonna bring my chicken and rice or salad or whatever it is. I brought in my meal prepped food and all these people were like, there goes Megan again with their salad. Like, people started making derogatory comments towards me because it's out of the norm. Like, if you're walking around with a protein shake, people are gonna look at you weird, but if you're walking around with a bag of chips, no one's gonna look at you weird. Another day, I was eating my meal prep food for lunch, and my coworker, she went out and bought some kind of, I don't know what it was, but she had like fast food for lunch. And then she looked at what I was eating and said, that is disgusting, I would never eat that. She said that to my face, and I was like, why? First of all, why do you care what I'm eating? Second of all, I'm eating real food that I cooked myself, and you're eating fast food that was processed in a factory. And you have the nerve to tell me to my face what I'm eating is disgusting? Like, it's just, the fit shaming is real. People are gonna make derogatory comments, but eventually I was just like, I don't care because I feel good and I look good and I have goals to hit, and that's what I'm doing. So people were saying all these derogatory comments towards me for a very long time, and then eventually once they started seeing me making these great results, then the same people, I'm not kidding you, the same people that were making fun of me to my face started asking me what I was doing. First they're making fun of me, and then they're asking me what I'm doing and how they can get these fitness results. So moral of the story is, don't care what other people say because it really doesn't matter. All you have to worry about is you and your health and your fitness goals. Sips tea. It's water, but who cares? Working out really isn't the struggle, it's more so what you're eating, because eating is such a social thing. You're around other people, and I don't know why everyone's always so concerned about what you're eating, but you'll start to notice this. Everyone like has something to say. It's like really strange. Why do you care what I'm putting in my body? And why do you care if I cooked my own food and brought it? Like, it boggles my mind. I really don't understand. Another thing that was hard is social gatherings. I already covered that. In work, people make fun of me at work, so I already covered that. And then I was living at home at the time. I was living at my mom's house. My mom and my stepdad don't eat healthy, and they were having all this unhealthy food in the house. So there was a lot of temptation. They're grown adults, so they're gonna eat whatever they want, and I can say as much as I want, but they won't listen to me. So I just have to take my own personal responsibility and buy my own food and cook my own food and prep my own food and eat that. So it was really hard because they had all these snacks and like processed food and unhealthy food, and all this temptation was around, and I'm trying to get tunnel vision on like my goals and what I want to eat. So that was really hard for me, was that people around me were not eating healthy and I'm trying to eat healthy. It's like a mind game. You just have to tune it out. And I guess a blessing in disguise for me is that when I eat processed and unhealthy food now, I get a really bad stomach ache after. Like, my body kind of goes into shock because I've been eating whole real foods that come from the earth, basically. Like, if it's on the earth and I'm eating it, I'm fine. But if it's made in a factory and it's processed food, my body is like, what are you doing? We don't know what to do with this. It's not even worth it most of the time to eat the food because it doesn't really, I mean, it tastes okay, but it doesn't taste that good that I have to deal with this like monstrous stomach ache afterwards. So I've had some struggles along the way. Oh, another one. Eventually in your fitness journey, this happened to me, I plateaued. So when everything was new, my body was challenged, it was doing things I'd never done before, and that's why I got great results at first. But eventually you have to switch it up because your body will go up and up and up, and then it's gonna flatten out. You have to constantly switch it up, change things, challenge your body in different ways, and basically switching it up is what you have to do. And progressive overload too. When I was weight training, eventually I got really complacent with the weight numbers that I was using, and I wasn't going up. Once you're able to do a certain weight for a certain exercise very comfortably with good form, you have to move up or else you're never gonna grow. So that was something that I had to learn the hard way. If I just use the same weights all the time, I'm not gonna get better and I'm not gonna grow my muscles. So that sounds really simple and like, duh, why wouldn't you think to do that? But you have to remind yourself, like when you're training, you have to up the intensity, you have to get better. It's called a fitness journey for a reason, because it just keeps going. It just keeps going. So I'm satisfied with my body, but I'm always trying to get better. I'm always trying to grow more as a person and up my endurance. That's what I'm working on right now since I'm stuck at home. I'm sprinting. I don't like to run, but I'm doing it, and I'm doing things that I normally wouldn't. Gotta get creative, gotta switch it up. The purpose of me being on YouTube and what drives me here is that I wanna create a community of women who are thinking the same and who wanna hit their goals and who wanna become better people and just want the most out of life, basically. So let me know where you're at in your fitness journey. I've created a Facebook group for basically quarantine accountability, and then when quarantine's over with, we'll just keep each other accountable in regular life. Click the link in the description box if you want to join. Leave a comment down below where you're at in your fitness journey. I want to know. Let's keep the conversation going, and I'll see you girls in the next video.